just grab ally and rely on that to just fully heal or protect a core. It was really, I loved it. I was super happy to see Collapse playing it.
Yeah, I mean the magic build just gives you a lot more damage early game. You play for your cause. Like talking about itemizations, when you look at Aster's lineup, I feel like apart from like the communication issues, I feel like if they wanted to hit a timing like to end the game, like maybe if you don't go for a core build on Brood, you just go for like the pipe and whatever like Solar Crest and you try to finish the game. Because I felt like they were trying to catch the Ember and the AM with the Lion +1 all the time, and the other 3 heroes, they were not like doing anything in the map and they just pushed and they just fed as well when the Lion is showing himself on the map to pick off. That's very obvious, it's the communication problem. When you do something on one side, the other side needs to back off.
But there has to be a reason why that build isn't very popular on Brood. In general, Brood kind of disappeared whenever she first got shifted to Universal. But then after the, I guess, D-patch buffs to, what, web AoE increased?
Yeah, what I'm saying is like you need to realize like which game, what item build you should be doing. Just like the Snapfire, if you're going mid, you need to do damage, you go for the universal build. But if you need to help your team more, play for like the axe and you be more utility based, then you have to go for the axe build. Then you have to realize which games are the games that you should do that. And I feel like for Brood it's the same. Maybe it won't happen so quickly, but I think at some point like players are gonna realize it's still okay to go for the Solar Crest build, the pipe build, whenever you have like a Morphling on your team, and then you just play for the other hero and you win the game in a very, very sharp timing.
Which is what you have to do against these anti-mages, especially if you have a mid laner who's going crazy. Let's see the Predator head-to-head between these two mid laners and the hero damage between this Ember Spirit and this Timbersaw. Now, initially when I pitched this, it was like 13 minutes in the game.
Yeah.
And I thought Laurel was going to be comically outnumbered by Sumail.
Well, to be fair, that was my idea.
Yeah, but it did come back around. I was on board with it. And well, Laurel, by golly, he turned it around. And I don't really know what a Timbersaw could do at that stage of the game. I think at a certain point it was out of his hands. The anti-mage was just too large.
I mean, isn't Timbersaw, he's always been one of those heroes that if he has a great start, he can run over a game.
Yeah.
Then there comes a point where you just kind of stop being that damage dealer. And I mean,
Expiration date.
There's an expiration, exactly. He's like
Milk.
unpasteurized milk that's going to go off quickly. It's tastier. You want to get it in you, but you can get sick and it goes off quickly.
I think in a lot of games he scales nicely, especially when you get the double chakra.
Why do you got to shoot me down? Just give me the milk analogy.
Shut
all right?
up,
Just
shut
I
up,
traveled
old
all
man.
this way. I just
Go
want
and
the
get
milk.
some milk. Leave.
Go to Greg's.
Don't come back. Go to Greg's.
Yeah.
That's not a punishment.
Yeah, they don't sell milk in Greg's.
Oh,
This
right.
guy's trying to join
Go to
in.
Sainsbury.
Sainsbury, like singular.
Wait, it's Sainsbury's?
No, it's Sainsbury's.
It's Sainsbury's. It
Sainsbury's.
belongs to John Sainsbury and his family, I believe.
Oh.
What a derailment. Anyway.
Sorry,
What were
Sheep,
we-
you were
what were we
saying.
saying?
Timbersaw can scale because of
I
double
like-
chakra.
Yeah, when you have like double chakra,
That's
you get
25
hex.
though.
Yeah, and I'm just saying like late game, I think Timber can do a lot of damage. I just think it's hard like into anti-mage and stuff.
Mhm.
And I also do like the way that Team Spirit had their composition. Like Enchantress was like giving the Snapfire creeps to like ult into the Ags into the fight, and then Lal didn't have to be the one that always like goes in. He can play out and like poking. I really liked his build. He had like the Sanj and Yasha. It's like he's being tanky. He's not dying to these stuns. He's able to get the hex as well. So he's just like a constant source of like damage, poke, and disable.
Thumbs up all around.
Thanks. I don't think that was a coherent point, but I really liked how they played their lineup.
Yeah, I understand what
got
you're
you.
getting at.
I just don't have any follow-up. What am I going to say? Yeah.
Excellent
Actually,
point,
I disagree with you there, Sheep.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, bro, what up? What of it?
This double Wraith Band build for the laning thing.
Oh, where'd you get that point from, Ted?
Holy.
You still good for that on there? You worked out pretty well for them.
I had definitely not heard this word for word 20 minutes ago upstairs. It was a different build though, because Nightfall, when he was laning against a Broodmother, he went for the Vanguard. This one went for double Wraith Band. I'm thinking Anti-Mage is just pretty friggin' sweet. You need to stop hating, Winter. You went Water Boy.
You did go Water Boy.
Have you had any correct predictions so far, Winter? I feel like every single game you've gone for, It's been the opposite.
Winter's just like, this should happen, and if they don't do it this way, they suck as players.
That's the coach mentality.
People did think that Anti-Mage was going to be big when, as soon as the patch came out, even people were like, wow, this feels like it's going to be great for heroes like Anti-Mage because he can get to all this farm and everything like that. Do you think that's a factor, or do you think it's just he's so good against Morph?
Like, he's very good in specific matchups. We were talking about the statistics. Neil was telling me, anti-mage, about 87% win rate so far.
After this game, it may be back to like 90-ish.
Yeah, but it's not fair, because AM is only picked if the game is really good for AM. So whenever AM is picked, it's a very favorable environment for him to win the game.
And you're saying that perhaps teams are being too trigger happy on picking Morphling? Or teams just need to know their limits on what their carry player is capable of?
That too. Some players just can't play Morphling, and you have to ban it. Instead of just blindly picking it because everybody's picking it.
Well, in this game, Spirit gave Aster theoretically everything that they would have wanted. Maybe there is such a thing as too much of a good thing. Will Aster learn discipline in game number 2, or will they be eliminated from Dream League Season 20? Find out in game number 2.
passion. Share your passion. Wherever, whenever. Gaming is a lifestyle. Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, we bring you the Pyrian Pandas. Keep, give me a beat.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star. How I wonder what you are. It's the stars twinkling. Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Thank you very
There we
much,
go.
everybody. Thank you, thank you. We appreciate it. Back to Dota, my friends.
There's a draft.
All right,
There is a
Let's
draft,
go.
and it's an elimination game on the line right now for Team Aster. They are 0-4.
Guess which hero's been picked without looking?
Undying.
Oh.
Imagine that. But is Morphling on the agenda? Because it's still in the pool.
Ember, Enchantress,
Pugna.
Band, could be Pugna.
Edgeband! Undying still in on.
Techies is
Ah.
still available.
Techies, who's
Get
that?
techies.
I ain't seen that guy in a while.
Get techies.
Yeah, pick Techies or Koddle.
They're gonna go
Or
Pugna.
Snapfire. Yo,
Pugna.
pick Snapfire.
Yeah, Snapfire sounds good against Undying.
That sounds sick.
Do you want to pick it this early? It doesn't really matter.
It
Does
doesn't have to
Doesn't
be
matter.
more. Yeah.
Just pick it
Doesn't
early.
matter.
I
Is
think
this a Beyblade?
It is.
I see
They're not.
before me.
Whoa, they're called Blade Blades.
Sorry, Blades.
Thank you.
Correct. We let it zip around here. Yeah, we had a bit earlier. We were predicting drafts based off of
The
Blade.
movement of the Blade.
correct. And Sheep withheld information on which the superior Blade was.
Not true.
And Fear Doto, a renowned Blade enthusiast who plays with his children, was duped into losing.
No.
Yes.
He just didn't have the heart of the blades.
We're invoking card games as well. Children's
look.
card games.
They've picked Morphling.
Wow.
What a
cool.
surprise.
Are you happy about that?
No.
Do you
Well-
think it's going to go well for them?
They have a lot of team problems, not draft problems. Some teams, they have draft problems, but this team, they have team problems.
So teams with a draft problem don't have a team problem. Aster has a team problem.
Yeah.
Noted.
Here's the funny cool thing is the anti-mage Timbersaw bans back to back. These guys were like, I friggin' hate you for everything you did last game, and they both removed the problem children of the draft.
So what could they pick now, Spirit, that they want to play that would just be like, let's put Morph in the bin?
Whew, that's a big question. Big question.
It used to be OD, but OD is not a hero.
Yes.
I think Faceless Void was banned last game,
I believe so.
It
Yes.
was, yeah.
so that could be an idea.
Didn't LGD did like Void, Ancient Apparition
Yeah, I like
against
that one.
Morphing?
There was a couple AAs. Was there a couple AAs? There was definitely
the first
an
group
AA.
stage.
Yeah, I saw one. It looked good.
Hmm.
At least to a point. It was kind of like early game, the AA sucked because his lane was bad. His laning was bad, and also in the early fights, it was like you had to AA ult, and it would hit like one person, and it would be like, okay, there's 4 more heroes, and like everyone's kind of stronger early. So he kind of sucked. But then the later the game went, the more impactful it became.
Yeah.
And it goes through. And I wouldn't mind a Rubik AA support duo.
You wouldn't?
10 seconds remaining.
You got stuns. You got lockdown. You got
Yeah.
people who can rotate on mid.
I mean, the other option would be Elder Titan against Morphling.
Yeah, that one's also not been that popular. Nor against Medusa. I'm surprised that I think LGD picked it once in their 15-minute game against Evil Geniuses, which also had like a Marcy carry and other stuff. But
Wow.
other than that, ET's not been that popular.
Yeah, he was picked as an Undying replacement. Like Blood Granite just made this like 2 melee support heroes really strong in the lane. Like these 2 heroes, Undying and Elder Titan, they just needed a little bit more from the laning phase. Like sometimes with the Blood Granite, you're able to get the extra kill and it propels your mid game much faster.
But right now, Spirit are targeting XXS, and I guess Sumail as well, with the Timbersaw being a flex pick. And we'll see what their last ban ends up being. Meanwhile, Aster take out all the carry matchups against the Morphling, the Phantom Lancer, the Anti-Mage, and the Naga Siren taken out. Compared to last time, we see that the AA has gone through, the Faceless Void has also gone through from the second phase.
I was present when this
Technology
was first brought to the world. It's fantastic. I don't want to name drop whose idea it was.
You can. We love Buka.
Jesus
No,
Christ.
if it was Buka's idea.
Oh, you had it.
I think it was Shane's idea, but I could be wrong. It could just be Buka being modest. And someone will shout at me after this. Probably Buka.
Techies does end up making it through to the second phase, and Aster Pickett along with a Sumail Void Spirit, which I believe is his most winningest hero so far in all of DreamLeague. He's 7 matches, or no, sorry, he's a 80% win rate. He's only lost 1 out of his 5 games on Void Spirit.
Yeah, we had a discussion about this hero. This hero doesn't need a lot of like communication and setting up stuff, so you don't have to talk to each other.
He does it all by himself.
Yeah, he does everything by himself.
Also, he's a universal hero, which means he
Exactly.
can do one.
I do like it. I think I watched him play yesterday. Because there was always the question of like, how does it look after the patch? Like, I think Quinn lost a couple times on it. It was not looking strong there. But I'm still a believer. I do think as well it's nice because Team Spirit... It's difficult because Team Spirit are playing with 2 supports. You talked about the stuns. There's now a lot more stuns. And for a mobile hero, it's really difficult to play into that.
2 tentacle surprises on the same team.
Technically 3, I guess, if we're going to count his Tendrils of the Deep as another tentacle.
That's the primary tentacle according to Sunsfan.
So his Ravage is not his primary tentacle.
Is that one a surprise?
It is, because they come out of the ground. I'd call that a surprise. I have to defer to Shannon on this. I would have considered the surprise. You might not know he's picked up Shard, and suddenly there's a literal surprise tentacles.
True.
Or tentacle surprise, sorry. So obviously Lion has tentacle surprise. Tide Ravage is tentacle surprise.
And Nyx Assassin is the other tentacle surprise, supposedly.
Right, but I'm saying, are the Tendrils of the Deep an additional tertiary to this game?
Good word. We will consult the tentacle expert.
Yeah, let's get the old tentacle expert in here. Shannon, I look forward to hearing your thoughts.
Anyway, Void Spirit can kill these 2 supports. Hopefully. You have a lot of nice jump. I think Aster can play... If they can play these fights where they get the initial jump, like they use some smoke, they have some like water, some high ground, they see the 2 supports, they can kill them at the start. It's like that so much of their damage and control comes from them. They have lots of control on all 4 heroes. But if you can burst these heroes at the beginning with like your Morphling, your Techies, your Void Spirit, then there's less follow-up for this Ravage, where it's not as bad. And also, I'm assuming they're going to want to buy BKBs. This is like, if you don't buy BKB this game, you're probably griefing. Or at least you need this like Sanjin Yasha or Sanjin Kai or whatever fits.
Shannon, don't go away.
Don't bring him here.
He doesn't have to come here. I just want him to know what, for the cast. We have a question. Are you saying Lion Stun, that's a tentacle surprise tentacles? Ravage is a surprise tentacle?
Nope.
That doesn't count. It's only Impale. So Tendrils of the Deep. Okay, so thank you for the clarification, sir. That was a little sidebar there that we had. Like sidebar with Shannon about that. So law clarified. We've got case law now. It's only Impale style. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
There we go. For anyone wondering at home, and I'm sure there was a lot of you, we've clarified that. That's all been sorted out. Don't worry. We handle a lot of business here at DreamLeague for you.
Winter, how do you think you play into this many stuns on Team Spirit? Feels like you just get busted and died. Like any of this line gets some blink, game becomes hard.
I think the first thing I would look at is buy the team items. Pick a last pick that can buy all the pipe, the grease, you grew up together so they can't catch you with the Lion. And because you have Undying and Morphling, I feel like the Tide is not supposed to have a very good lane. He's supposed to have a bad laning phase and he's going to be behind. Sure, you can get Meteor Hammer, but the Morphling should be really fat. Because I'm always the Mortal Boy fan, you know, I believe in the hero as much as the hero is losing right now. I blame the player most of the time, not the hero.
Yes, because you couldn't be wrong.
Take it up with Monet.
A good defense mechanism. When you're wrong, it's someone else's fault. I live my life by that creed.
That's the Dota player mentality. XXS needs a hero to play. Can't be Legion, can't be Axe, but it's gonna be Underlord.
Yeah, group up hero. Buy all the team items. Very good against the Ember. I mean, it's just very solid, you know, with their draft. You have like a frontline hero, like for the Morphling. I just feel like once they get presumably he's gonna get the pipe at a pretty good timing. You just group up together, and then the Morphling has like 1 or 2 items, and you just play around the Tombstone. I don't see how like Team Spirit can actually do anything about it in the early game.
Is there a carry that solves that at all?
There are very few carries that are banned. Jug is still in.
Yeah,
Faceless
Juggernaut.
Void is still in.
Juggernaut maybe.
Bloodseeker is still in.
Juggernaut or Bloodseeker.
Ursa?
Wow, Ursa? That's a new one. It's definitely very strong in the lane against the Underlord. But you can play against the Ursa as Underlord by not getting the Vanguard. You try to get Arcane Boots first. So you just spam your Firestorm.
And one thing that Brian had noted, rest in peace, is that he likes the Ursa to Morphling carry matchup quite a bit because typically Morphling likes briefly retreating from a fight and then coming back after, but the Fury Swipes debuff lasts for so long that even when you re-enter the fight, you're gonna get cut through. And if you just go man-to-man, it doesn't matter how much strength you morph, still gonna get slashed.
Yeah, those bear claws, they cut deep.
I like it. You can also Ionize Diffusal Blade if you want against Morphling and just try and like cut them down as quickly as possible. I'm a fan of it. I think it gives them everything they need. Like, I think the most things I'll be looking at is the fights around Roche Pit then, because both these teams have like good.
Roche heroes?
No, I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna say they have the good ability to burst someone quickly, so it's kind of like the high ground next to the Roche Pit where like the pole is. Like whoever can kind of take that area and claim it, I think will have the advantage in these Roche fights because Spirit really need these Aegises to like just go.
You're playing against Undying Techies. Good luck.
Yeah.
It'll be hard for them, you know. They have to like find the right initiation with Lion. You burst somebody from full to 0, then maybe you have a chance to take Roche. But if Aster's already ready on the high ground, they set up with the Techies, with the Tombstone.
It's so hard.
Yeah, it's gonna be really, really difficult.
What's stronger, Winter? Your love for the Water Boy or your skepticism for Aster?
My love for the Water Boy.
Okay, then. Looks like we're going to a 3-game series if that's the chance. And if not, then we're going to be saying goodbye to Team Aster in Dream League Season 20. Let's pass it on for game number 2 to our casters. It's Sunsfan and Cinderin.
Tentacles, tentacles, tentacles. Yep, that's my intro. Sunsfan here with Cinder and Aster versus Spirit. Game number 2. We get to see a big, juicy bear. Do you like bear claws?
Guess I like them more than tentacles. I don't know if I had to do a rating.
Oh, you don't know what a bear claw is? Is that an American thing only?
Is it a plant?
It's a donut.
What? Okay, I did not know
You
that.
learned something from me today.
There is a plant in Danish. The literal translation to English would be bear claw.
Oh.
30 seconds to battle.
Maybe the donut is made out
bear-
of that plant.
Maybe it would be bear hook. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Well, you're not going to ask me what's in it?
No.
It looks like a bear claw, kind of, and it has apple in it.
Oh, that does sound good. I like apple.
It's delicious.
So,
Oh, Yataro.
Yataro is getting into trouble here.
Oh, sticky bomb, firestorm, earth shock. Oh, he actually's fine. Okay.
Remnant didn't hit. I don't actually know if he would have died even if it did hit. I think he was going to be.
That looked like he was definitely going to die.
2-for-2 split. So, I love the Ursa pick. I think this was the best possible hero that Spirit had left in their arsenal. The Anti-Mage got banned. They opted to not go for AA plus Void, which I thought they might do in the second phase.
Round 2? No.
It's going to be okay. So there's a couple of upsides to this. It's a good lane matchup against Underlord. You have a hero that can kill Morphling from your care position. And I think Ursa complements Lion really well in all stages of the game. It's someone that Lion can play with and assassinate cores, which Lion loves to do this, but a lot of the time can't necessarily do it with many of the meta cores right now because they're off in the jungle farming. But Ursa would like to get involved a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So that's one good thing. Ursa can also buy Diffusal Blade, as the panel talked about, which is a good item against the Morphling. So that's definitely good. As far as Aster goes, I think if Aster want to win a game, it's do or die. You put Samael on Void Spirit.
Okay, well, right on cue. If they want to win the game, they can't die on Monet this early. That is, wow.
I don't understand how he died to this lane, actually.
That is insane.
Must have caught him off guard. They don't even have Gush, so he can't really have been surprised.
Yeah.
I don't know what could have happened here, but maybe overestimated how much health he had or something.
Maybe he was in the tree line where that ward shows him and he was full at. I don't know.
Oh yeah, maybe he was morphing down. Actually, that's true.
XXS getting chased.
Here.
Yeah, this is going to be a rough lane for him. Tentacle Surprise number 2 is online.
But Boca is actually in trouble as well here.
He's going to get a sticky bomb down. And looks like he'll be able to walk away.
Yeah.
Yatoro needs to farm Cinder. And Siamese Cat is going to get the tombstone down.
He's just dying
the
to
blood
attack.
grenade as well, but yeah, he's just going to be casually right-click down. As Mira will be the eventual trade. Takes a while, but Monet finally gets on the board. Finally puts Aster on the board, in fact. Sumail fighting off against
mid
Laurel.
to Laurel for now.
Yep, the
So
Spirit
that's a
Brothers.
change-up. Last game, Laurel got absolutely trashed in lane by the Timbersaw. This time around, much better conditions for him. The Void Spirit matchup was clearly better for him.
Yeah, we haven't really
he's doing
seen
well.
Void Spirit do very well since the nerf in the last mini patch. Letter patch.
I feel like he accounts for Aster's only win since then. Maybe they've won 2 games, but it's like when I see Aster Void Spirit, they win. And if they don't, it just hasn't looked as good. So Sumail definitely is pulling a lot of weight when he's playing this hero. And, well, what better time to do it than in an elimination game? Gotta pull out all the stops here if you want to have a chance of going to Riyadh the direct way. I don't know how the math all boils down in the end when it comes to all the teams that get invited. It's something about average placement in the 2 seasons and whatnot. If you make top 4 in either season, I think you're probably close to being an invite from that alone.
Well,
I don't remember how good Aster's result was.
tell
in
Liquid
the
that.
last one. Yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
Take a harder route.
It's
if there is
hard to
one.
tell right now, but Laurel kills Sumail.
There's that death note.
Wow. I mean, he is leading in the CS pretty dramatically. 21-2 to 13-3. So Sumail not off to a good start this time, which means Aster are likely going to have to try and help him, which they do have heroes that can do that. The blast off from the techies being the main component. But I am glad that we're seeing Tidehunter again. This is a hero that just had not seen for a while, and then the last couple weeks we've been seeing him as pulling a Cinder, and as always,
Let's keep it up.
really love seeing Undying every single game. Mira
Yeah.
will get waveformed on by Monet. See,
All right, Sumail
they
has
knew
to...
I was not wanting that.
Yeah, it has to be genuine. So I said Sumail has to come up big. He dies. You love Tide. He dies.
What's next? Well, the good news for Collapse, he doesn't really miss any creeps, and he's going to get solo XP now, at least a little bit.
Yeah.
And Anchor Smash, if you're able to get it off against Morphling early on, obviously a very valuable spell since he is mostly base damage.
Interesting. I wonder what influences Ember Spirit's skill builds in lanes like this. If Resonant Pulse makes it unappealing to max out the Slight. Because we have Ember matchups where Ember maxes Slight, and we have matchups where he maxes the Flame Guard. Maybe it's just because it's melee on melee, and you just get too much value out of having the guard. But could definitely harass Sumail quite a lot with points.
Yeah, Siamese
Slight
Cat's
as
going to
well.
get destroyed. Monet wants revenge, but
It's not going to
that is a Tidehunter. Although it does have Adaptive Strike coming back soon. Either way, he's going to do pretty significant damage to both heroes. But Collapse is going to pull an entire wave plus some additional creeps.
Yeah, bottom lane definitely the best news for Aster in this game. Monet is doing very well for himself, putting some good pressure. He has a full level advantage against the Tide, whereas Sumail in the mid not doing too hot. And the top lane, it's going okay considering it's Ursa against Underlord, but I imagine it's going to get harder and harder. Pichu trying to give some help mid here, but who's he really helping? It's like Laurel will easily clean this one up. Wonder if
Yeah, he is level 6 as well.
Tombstone's starting to be a problem, so time to
Sumail
get away
with
probably.
that level disadvantage. Searing Chains connects. Mipocha coming from the other side, which means Sumail has to revert to the other side. But Tentacle Surprise catches him by, well, surprise.
We finish each other's
Sandwiches.
surprises. Good one. You tried. but it was not sandwiches.
Okay, well. one day
Although,
we could
I
be
guess
that
if
close.
the sandwich had tomato, you would put that aside.
And you can eat that by yourself.
I do like tomato, I have to say. It's good.
Okay.
And you do like sandwich.
That is true. Who doesn't?
Just
Of
like
course, yeah.
heavy weapons guy.
Yeah. That's a good character. Wait, did he just cancel the blast off? No. He did not, Cinderin, in case you were wondering.
Yep, I was wondering.
Poshka will go down to the casual right clicks. Baboka's rain. I mean, ever since they changed this hero to actually have damage,
Yeah.
it's pretty absurd. As the Aether Remnant catches Laurel, he's able to Remnant away, though.
Yeah,
Now
he's
he'll
gonna
keep you
just
back,
refill here.
and he's fine.
I
Yeah.
think that's honestly the biggest difference between these two heroes in this matchup at this point in time is that Ember can trade with Void Spirit and they can burn each other down, and then Ember just gets a free refill.
Yep.
So, quite meaningful. He's just going to come back to mid. Obviously, Sumail didn't burn through everything he had, but Wisdom Rune exchange 1-for-1. Laurel is 1,000 ahead of Sumail after that second kill they got as well.
Yeah. I mean, we've
3-0.
seen Sumail get off to slow starts from time to time, but he's come back in a lot of these games because of the supports.
Yeah, and this
But
game,
it is already 7.5 minutes, and they haven't really seen much in the mid lane.
it's unlikely they find a way to kill Ember at this point, right?
Yeah.
Undying is not going to help much in the gank, so it needs to be Techies plus Void, and I think it's a very hard one to execute. If Ember is high on health and has Flame Guard ready, you don't have enough to get through it. Looks like they might just try it regardless. Baboka has shown up, but Laurel has a good ward here, so if Baboka gets close to the slope, Laurel will know.
Well, 8-minute rune is spawning. Laurel hoping it's top. There's going to be a clash for it at bottom.
It's
And
top,
it will be
and
top.
there's
It's
Laurel.
the shield rune. Laurel wants to fight. He's disarmed for the time being. Disarmed even more. Already at half HP. Has to Remnant away, although Sumail is going towards his Remnant. Man, he is taking some ridiculous damage. Dodges the blast off. And did Sumail stop chasing?
Yeah, he went for the line instead.
Oh, that
We'll
is
get him at
unfortunate.
Poshka. No, he won't. Not yet,
Poshka.
anyway. He will.
Resonant
Wow.
Pulse takes him out. And now Mira will be able to outrun the Sticky Bomb. That is Reactive Taser.
Yep.
That is an ability on Baboka.
Yes.
Did you say something about that?
No.
Okay.